11.4, command line interface, CLI. So we've been doing a lot of things in GUI, but we already have done some stuff in the command line interface. So we're going to deep dive into that now. I'm going to demonstrate some stuff, and then we're going to go over this section. Hoo-ya? All right. Everybody good? So I'll open up command prompt by going to the search bar down here, and then I'm going to type in, anybody? CMD. Now PowerShell is the new word, what you should be using. It's more powerful, etc., but we can still use this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up command prompt here, and I'm going to put File Explorer on the other side. How do I open up File Explorer? Watkins?
You said how do we open up File Explorer?
Yeah.
That's going to be the tab on the taskbar.
Tab on the taskbar. This one here?
Nope.
This folder here. Or I could do search and I could type in File Explorer. There we go. And put this over there and this here. Hoo-ya? I'm going to go to this PC. Now, the command line interface, which drive am I in now here? H, right? That's this one here. What if I want to change to the C drive? Well, I'm simply just going to type C, colon, and then look at that. I'm in the C drive. Change the D drive, I can just do D, colon. Change the E drive, E, colon. That's optical, so it won't work. S drive, S, colon. Hoo-ya? So let's go to H. Now, if I want to see the contents of the directory, I just type in directory, or DIR for short. So we can see this here, right? DIR, it'll show me the directories. So if I go in here, right? We've got directory 24230. Oh, there we go right there. We can see that directory. We can see different files, etc. Hoo-ya? Awesome. Now let's say I want to go into, or I want to change directory. Let's make a directory first. So that's going to be MD or mkdir. And I can do 1. And look over here. It will in a second. There you go, 1, right there. Everyone see that? Okay. I can make more than 1 at once as well. I can do mkdir 2, space 3, space 4, space 5, space 6, 7, enter. And what will happen here, look at that. It created all of those. The space creates all of those. Everyone see that? So I can do 1 at a time. mkdir, give me a name. I heard applesauce. And that'll make 1 folder here, applesauce, right? I could do mkdir apple space sauce. What'll that do then? Make 2. Apple and sauce. Good to go? I can remove these directories. Remove directory 1. So RD, remove directory. RD 2, 3, 4, 5. And boom. So we can do 1 at a time, or we can do multiple at a time. Everyone see that? Awesome. Let's remove some more directories. Let's get rid of 6, 7, sauce, and applesauce. Boom, 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 boom. All right, how do I create a directory again? mkdir, make directory. What do you want to name this one?
Black Dynamite.
Chicken. There we go. Now, let's say I want to go into the chicken directory. This directory here, right? I'm in H now, but if I want to go in there, that's CD, change directory, and then I'll type chicken. And now I'm in the H drive, and I'm in chicken. Okay. What's the command to see what's in a directory? dir for directory. So if I go into H drive chicken, look at that, there's nothing there. We see that? But if I do make directory noodle. It's there. I can do dir now. And look, before there was nothing there, and now we have noodle here. Everybody see that? All right. Questions so far? Serna? Yeah, the command line interface is less resource intensive. I'm not using so much graphics and the operating system. I'm using the command line interface. Martin? Change directory. So I can go back to the H drive. I can do cd ... and that'll bring me back to the H drive. cd chicken will bring me there. Newton? A file. We're going to do that as well. So we'll do that next. But let me show you just a few other things first. How do I go back one level in the hierarchy? Or let's go into noodle, right? I can go change directory noodle. And look at that. I'm in, if we go all the way back out, this PC, I'm in the H drive. Here, H drive. Then the next is chicken, right here. And the next is noodle. So that's where I'm at there. How do I go back one folder back to chicken in the command prompt? cd, change directory. I could do that. I could do H drive chicken. I could do change directory chicken, but it doesn't work because I got to do the full path. Or I could do cd ... to go back one level. cd ... Good to go? How do I change over to a completely different drive, to like the S drive? A semicolon. Huya? Now, what was the command to see the contents of the directory? Dir, right? That'll show me directories and files. I can also do a command that'll show me the directory hierarchy and just the directories with tree. So we can see here's the directories, right? Like here's our chicken and then noodle, but this is just the directories. So you'll see if I go to the, let's see, C drive and do tree. Whoa! Look at that, right? All that is showing all the directory of the computer, right? Let's cancel that with Control C. So you may see that on some movies, but really they're not hacking, they're not doing anything special. They're just showing the contents of the directory. Huya? So we can do that for, let's see, like the D drive, tree. Go back to the H drive, tree. Just shows us the directories. I can change to chicken, and now if I do tree, a lot less because it's just noodle there. Huya? Awesome. Now, I put this Word document in your folder on Netacad and in your share drive for you as well. That's going to walk you through some stuff, but we're going to go through some more as well. Starting with, let's make a file. So we're in chicken. So let's go back here. Chicken, we've got noodle there. Let's make a file. I'm going to do, let's see, soup into noodle.txt. Type soup into noodle.txt. When we do touch, there's touch Linux. That's fine. Copycon soup.txt. All right, so that's copy console, soup.txt, and now I can type whatever I want here, and the text will go into the document. Good? End it with QW : do Control Z. Now if I open up this file, soup.txt, look at that. Everything is in there. Can we see that? Pretty cool. Good? All right, I can do echo. Hoo-ya? When I say that, you echo it back, right? So I can do echo some text into a document. And then where am I putting that into? Well, let's put that into example.txt. What it'll do is it'll put this text into that document, and if it's not created yet, it'll also create that document. So enter. Look over here, example. And what did it do? Some text into a document. Did everybody see that? So there's a few different ways we can do that. Now, I can delete a file, or how do I delete a directory? RD for remove directory, right? Noodle. But to remove a file, that's DEL, or delete. And we'll do soup. Delete soup.txt. I need that file extension there. Now, if I try to do delete example, this won't work. Why? Because I need the file type. Now, if I try this, will this work? No, it worked, even though it was open. Good to go? So the two different things, right? If I'm deleting a file or if I'm deleting a directory. Now, let's change some attributes. So let's create some directories. Let's do, how do I create a directory? CD. And let's do 1, 2, 3. That'll create 3 folders. Oh, that's change directory. Sorry. mkdir. 1, 2, 3. Good? Let's say I want to make a document. Echo Happy Monday into Mondays are the best.txt. Good? Now, attributes. Let's see, if I do attrib, let's make a shorter file name. Echo Happy Monday into Monday.txt. There we go. I can do attrib. What that'll do, it'll just show me the attributes of everything in here. A, who remembers what the A is for? Archive. And I can do attrib space / question mark. Everyone see that? Attrib space / question mark, and it'll give me help. So what does this A stand for? Archive. If it was an S, it would be system file. H would be hidden. R is read only. Plus adds an attribute, minus clears it. So if I want to make, let's see, noodle.txt, if we want to make that hidden, that would be attrib plus H for hidden, and we'll do noodle.txt. Enter, and then, whoa, was it deleted? No. Okay, what if I do dir? Will it be shown there? No, but I could do dir a h. What is it? Dir a / h. There we go. All hidden. And it shows me, oh, there's noodle, even though it was hidden. I could do attrib noodle.txt. Even though it's hidden, I know the exact file, and there it is. If I just do attrib, there it is as well. And it'll show me my hidden ones. Who remembers over here how to view our hidden files? View, show, hidden items. And there it is. So let's go back. Let's not show that. And how do I make noodle.txt not hidden? How do I remove that attribute? Attrib minus h noodle.txt. Hoo-ya? Now what if I wanted to do that to a folder? Attrib plus h 1. And that hides that folder. Attrib plus h 2 space 3. Or 2. I can do the up arrow to go through my different commands. Let's do that to 3 now. Now what if I want to unhide it? It'd be attrib minus h. Well, let's do 1. Let's bring 1 back. Up arrow, change that 1 to a 2. Up arrow, change the 2 to a 3. And 1, 2, 3 are all back. Hoo-ya? All right, how do I make a directory again? What's that? McDir. Newton? You can do it one at a time. Yeah. But you're going to... You do one at a time here. Yeah. Let's make another directory. How do I do that? McDir, give me a name. Okay. How do I create a file? I can do copycon, or we can do echo silence into void.txt. Good?
So, is there a difference between using echo and using copycon?
Yeah, so if I do echo, I want to put in a lot of text, and this is going to take a while to type because of all of the words that are in this run-on sentence, and put that into long example.txt versus copycon 23.txt. Now I've got this here, and I can type, I can hit enter, I can do some basic formatting, Control Z, right? So just kind of a different environment. Good? Jackson.
Text only saves in that file if you do the up arrow Z.
Control Z. Control Z.
So that's what saves it into.
Correct, yeah. So when I'm done, right, I just do Control Z, and it's all done. And it puts that text into that document, and it creates it as well. Now, how do I view the attribute of something? I can do a trib, it'll show me all of them, or I could do a trib 23.txt, and it'll just show me that there. Now, what if I want to make document 23, the txt, I want to make that read only? How would I do that? Plus R? Well, what if I didn't know? How could I ask for help? I could do help. So I type help, and look at that. Oh, a trib. Oh, that displays or changes file attributes. See that right there? That'll help us out. So I can do a trib. And what if I don't know anything after a trib? What can I do? / question mark. So now I want to add read only to 23.txt. That would be a trib plus R 23.txt. Hoo-ya? Now I can also open up that document from here. I could do vi 23.txt, or sorry, 23.txt vi. And look at that. It opens it up right here. What I want to open, and then vi. Think visual. Now I can edit this document. Can I edit this document? It's read only, right? So I'll do file, save. Uh-oh. It won't let me do it, right? I'd have to replace it. So that won't work. Let's not save. Okay, but let's make it so it's not read only. How do I do that? A trib minus R 23.txt. Now if I open up that file, 23.txt vi, now I can edit it, save, and look at that, it's saved. Also do a dir, look at this, 23.txt, look at the time. Because we just edited it here, that's when it updates, when it was last updated. Let's look at void.txt. That's 721, right? If I open that, void.txt, vi, silence. If we just take out that file save. Now we do a dir. Look at that. That time was updated there. Everyone see that? Okay. There's a lot of stuff here. I think we should clear this screen. To do that, we're going to do CLS. And it's gone. Now, see how it says command prompt up here? I could change that as well with just title, and we could do 502. Look at that, it changes that. If I have another tab here, I could do title 1. Well, this is PowerShell. We need to open up another command prompt here. There you go, title. That's PowerShell as well. Title 2. So if you got a bunch of stuff going on, you can navigate it. So maybe it's title, random project. Title, not random project. Whatever it is, that'll change that there. Hoo-ya? Close it. Open it back up. CMD. And it's gone. Good? So title, 26 tech 250, and 26 tech 255. Well, let me do that special character. All right, what do we want to do next? We did attributes. We did read-only. We did hidden. Created files. We created folders. We did VI. Netstat we'll go over later. So that's about all I want to demonstrate right now. What questions do we have? Cerna?
This might be a little irrelevant, but is there a way to save your command prompts? Like everything that's on the screen?
You close it, and that is in your, it'll be in like the registry and things, the commands. And you got command history where you can hit the up arrow and you can go through previous commands. Now with PowerShell, you can create scripts, run batch files, etc. So PowerShell that can do a lot more. Co?
Yes. How would you like move the file around? Like if I make it the wrong place?
Oh yeah, you can do move commands as well. So let's do one of those. So help, right? And we should be able to see move. Yep, move on here. So move space / question mark. It'll tell you what you need to do. Moves files and renames files. It'll be move. What am I doing? Where am I moving it to? Or what I'm moving, and then where I'm moving it to. So if I'm in the H drive, let's do move chicken void.txt space, and we'll move that into the H drive chicken You can also do move. What do I want to move? I can copy this and it'll put the path there. That's cheating, yep. What do I want to move it to? And there we go. One file moved. So go back to chicken. The void is gone. We can move it back. We can move H chicken H chicken void.txt, and we'll move that to H chicken. What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm thinking Linux. Yep. H chicken void.txt. We'll move that to H chicken. And there you go, it's moved back. Good? Good catch there. So that was a great question. Cerna, does that make sense? Or Co, whoever asked it? Good? Starts with a C?
Yeah,
Chang.
When you delete a directory, does it go to the recycle bin as well? When you
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, so what's the difference between that and remove?
Oh, or are you talking about delete versus RM?
Yeah.
Ah. Remove 1. Sorry, RD, remove directory 1. Oh, we're not in there. We're change directory. I can do remove directory, chicken 1. Did it again. That's to remove a directory. Delete is how we delete a file. So RD, remove directory. DEL, that's for a file. Good? One's for a directory, one's for a file. Good question. What else we got? Okay, ready to move on some? And we're going to dive into this more. For now, let's continue. Now that we got that kind of brief example of showing things, then there's a lot more that we can do in there. So PowerShell is what's being used on Windows, but you can still use that command prompt that we had, but PowerShell is more efficient. You can do scripting. It's got more GUI, more useful things. The colors change, etc. And we'll see that a little bit later as well. Next, we have the command shell. That's this right here that we talked about. You can hit Windows R, and you can open up a run box, or you could open up the search bar and type CMD. Who ya? Yeah. All right, moving on. Basic commands. Well, we already know this first one. HELP spells help. What does that do? Gives us all a bunch of commands. On the left is the command. This is what you would physically type in, and on the right it is a description of what it is. So what deletes a file? DEL. What displays all of the files and directories in a directory? DIR, directory, right? Does that make sense, everybody? We can see that help function. All right, the next thing we have is whatever command you have, and then slash question mark. What will that allow us to do? Explain the command. Help shows us like a trib or copy, and then if we put in that word and then slash question mark, it'll get us more detailed about that specific command that we're trying to narrow down, what we're trying to do. Who ya? All right, the next thing we have is CLS, which does what? Clears the screen. Very good. The up arrow key, if I hit that on my keyboard, that'll go to my last command. Hit it again, it'll be the second to last command. It'll save us some time. All right, the F7 key. This will show your command history visually. Instead of having to hit that up arrow, you can do F7. Control C. So if you've got a ping or you're doing something and you want to cancel it, Control C. C as in Charlie. And exit will close the command prompt window. So just some basic examples. Do we need time to write these down? Yes? All right, why don't you write them down while I'll give you your screens back, and we'll watch this video while you write. You gotta open up another net support.
Hello everyone, it is time to feel the power of Windows 10. And that is not using the GUI. We want to use the command prompt. So let's check it out. I can either right click on my start button, or I can use the Windows X keystroke, and we'll see, what? Windows PowerShell? Well, Windows PowerShell is replacing the Windows command prompt in our current Windows 10 builds. But if you want your command prompt back in this little menu right here, this is how you do it. We're going to right click on the taskbar, go to taskbar settings, and here in taskbar settings, we're going to have this option that's currently set. Replace command prompt with Windows PowerShell in the menu. When I right click the start button, or when I use the Windows key followed by the X key on the keyboard. I'm going to turn that feature off because I want my command prompt back. From there, I'm going to close this taskbar. And now, if I either right-click on that start button or use the Windows X key, check it out. Command prompt and command prompt admin, which is the administrator, which is administrator privileges. So we're going to just start off here. And I'm going to use the command prompt option. Now, if you don't like using this right-click on the start button, or if you don't like using Windows X, you can always open a run box, which is Windows R. But with a run box, you can just type in cat, mouse, dog, which is CMD. Those 3 letters, CMD, hit enter, and it opens the command prompt as well. There's many ways to go about it. Either way, we are here in the command prompt, and if the font isn't your size to be able to view this easily, or you don't like the window and the coloring, we can modify this command prompt that's loading up. I can right-click on our little bar at the top here for a command prompt, and I can click on defaults. And this is going to be changing settings in the future for whenever I open up a new command prompt. I can change things like the basic options for cursor size and command history. I can even go into things like font and say the 24 size doesn't work for me. I want 28. We can change the font type. In the layout area, we can change the window size even for a command prompt. And lastly, I've got a colors tab where I can even modify the background screen color, the text screen, you name it. You can make this towards any type of movie that you like with scrolling text. But you can customize. But utilizing these defaults that we're modifying is not for our current screen. It's for any new command prompt we load up. So I've increased the font size. I'll click OK. My window does not change. But if I were to open a new command prompt, which I will do, check it out. Larger font size, larger window. So we're going to work here in this command prompt with our larger font size, and let's chat about it. In my command prompt, we can do different type of commands for deleting files, renaming files, moving files. I can even use this thing to reset account passwords and change system settings on my computer. So we're going to get started to figure out what type of commands are out there. And one of the first ones I like is the help command. You don't know where to begin? Just type help and hit enter. When I hit enter, we get this huge list of commands that are possible. And something you got to scroll through. Well, there's a better way to go about it. I can type help, and I'm going to use the pipe command, which is my shift key, followed by the pipe key, which is right below the backspace key on my...
Everybody look at their keyboards. The pipe keys. You see that vertical line that he just hit?
Yes.
You hit shift and look below the backspace key or above your enter key. Shift, and that key is your pipe.
my keyboard. And then I can type the word more. And instead of seeing one massive list, when I hit enter at this time, we're going to get a page-by-page output of all those help commands. Not just one list, but I can see one screen full of help commands, followed by more. I can then hit spacebar. It gives me another screen output of possible commands, followed by more. And it's a nice screen-by-screen output for all the commands possible via that help command. So, the screen output is done. We're at the bottom of it, and I'm back to my prompt. Now, what if we kind of wanted to take a look at cleaning up our screen? We've got a lot of stuff that have been outputted on it that we've been bouncing through. I want it to be clean. I can use the CLS command to tidy up my screen. With CLS, I can hit enter and check it out. It clears off that screen and it's nice and tidy again. Now, another thing we could take a look at is how to abort out of a command. For example, if I use that help command again, followed by our pipe and more, and there's a space right there between help and pipe, I can hit enter, and here we are inside of this output. If I want to get out of this output, I can use the Control-C key on my keyboard, Control and C, and it'll actually abort that command and take me back to my prompt. This is very useful when you're inside of a command that's currently executing and you want to get back to your prompt. Now, if you want to see all the commands that we've been utilizing inside of your history buffer, there's a couple ways to go about it. There's a command that'll print it to the screen, which is DOS key /history, and it'll output the commands you've been using. Or there's another one that's more fun. We can use the function F7 key on your keyboard. With that F7 function key, check it out. It pops up and shows the commands you've used previously. And I can just use my up and down arrows and scroll between them, And then what I can do is just hit enter and it'll execute that command. Like I'll hit enter on CLS, bam, and it enters it automatically for you. So get comfy and get out of that command prompt. New command for you. Instead of just clicking the X, you can type exit. So type exit and hit enter, and it closes your command prompt. Here's my other one, exit and enter. And have fun inside of this command prompt. Get comfy utilizing, experience it, because we're going to go deep into the command prompt and utilizing it for our files, folders, and settings. Thank you for watching and become the IT professional.
Questions on that video? Okay, we're going to keep going on as we continue to deep dive through command prompt. So first, let's see what we know. A user wants to see a list of commands recently executed so user can choose one to run again. I'm hearing F7 and I'm hearing up arrow. F7, okay. A user wants to see the options available for a command. Command / question mark, F. A user wants to see all the commands available at the command line. Help, G. A user has finished working at the command line and wants to end the session. Exit. A user entered a command incorrectly and would like to bring back the incorrect command so your user can correct it and run it. We'll do up arrow for that one, okay? A user wants to find a command to use for a specific task and wants to see the output one screen at a time. What's that character called in between help and more? Pipe. We hit shift and what key? The one below backspace, above enter. Very good. The command line window is full of output from other commands, and it's cluttered. It's hard to read. What can we do? CLS clears the screen. And a command is generating a lot of output, and it's taking too long to run. A user wants to stop it. Control C. Huya? Questions, comments, concerns? No, all right. You all right over there? Forbes, Abdul, you all right? All right. 11.4.2, file system CLI commands. So we're going to learn more commands. Forbes, Abdul, you guys good? Paying attention? Okay. So you're going to see different options, such as an asterisk or a star. This will be a wildcard, anything, right? You could do my asterisk.txt, and what it'll do is, if you're searching for anything, it'll be anything that starts with my whatever.txt. It's a wildcard for anything else. The question mark, we know this is for a single character. And when we're searching, right, my question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.txt, that's going to be, you'll find something that starts with my, and then any 4 characters that have it, versus this will work for anything. Good? So wildcard, question mark is a single character, asterisk is wildcard, it's any. All right, syntax. We could have text without brackets or braces, and that has to be typed exactly as it's shown. If it's text inside angle brackets, that's a value that you have to supply. Square brackets is optional. Braces, you're going to have to choose one of the options. A vertical bar or a pipe, taking one output from one thing and putting it into another. And ellipses is repeatable. For any commands that you're going to do, I'm going to demonstrate. We'll walk you through the command. We'll demonstrate the command, and we'll have you do them as well. So you won't have to know this too much because I'll talk about each of these commands. Easy day? All right, we need more time to write. Yeah? Okay.
Could you explain the question mark one more time? So like, first before question mark, you have to be like ball, like my ball, TXT. Is that what you're saying?
Let's say, let's see, my files are my Jackson.txt. You've got my 1, 2, 3, 4.txt. You've got my 5, 6, 7, 8.txt. And you've got my Garner.txt. Well, if we're searching and I do my asterisk.txt, it'll be all of those will come up. But if I do my question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark dot txt, well then which ones have 4 afterwards? My 1, 2, 3, 4, my 1, 2, 3, 4. So then these would be the result of this. And all the ones in red would be the result of the asterisk. Good?
So you have to put the amount of question marks corresponding to the amount of letters in the
Yeah, a question mark is a single character. Asterisk is my whatever dot txt. When you're searching for files and searching for logs, etc. Yeah.
Asterisk just covers the whole group. Question marks go for the singular section.
Correct. Single character. This is just whatever. My whatever. You could do asterisk dot txt and it'll be all text documents.
Okay. That's what I
So you'd be searching for like dates and things like that.
Okay.
Good? Any other questions? All right, moving on. We need more time? Okay. This exciting stuff? Getting to work in the command line?
And they better be on display when you say it. From the people drinking. From the people drinking.
All right, we're going to move on because a lot of people seem to be talking about not course-related stuff. Navigating the file system. We've demonstrated that, right? How do I change directories? CD. How do I change to a completely different volume or drive? Morrissey? Just the letter and the asterisk, right? Awesome. So let's look at some of these commands. So we did dir, short for directory, right? Will show us all of the files and folders, i.e. directories, within a specific directory that we're looking for. So we already know about dir. We can move down. We've got, you can do dir and then specify the path afterwards, which we did. We could do dir/a, which will show all, including hidden. You may have to do /a:/h for hidden. If you do dir/os, that'll sort by file size. Right, you know, on GUI, you can click on the name. You can sort by the file size. This is how you can do this in here, /os. /b will list the file and folder names only. I won't show the times, etc. /w will be a wide view in columns to display everything. Who ya? Question, Abdul. It'll show the content, so everything that's in that folder. dir. Oh, tree, that's just the directories, and it'll show every hierarchy. tree. Shows all the branches. Good? Okay, we did CD already. We've done that. We've done DIR. Questions before we watch another video? All right, another video.
Let's take a look at some of the cool things we can do with the Windows command prompt. I'll go to Start, and I'll right-click on Command Prompt and run it as an administrator, so I have administrative privileges. We can run some basic commands from our command prompt, including running programs. I can run programs that you might not think of running from the graphical user interface, like running the date command to see the date. It wants me to enter a new date, but I don't want to do that, so I'll do Control-C, and that'll exit out of that program. I can also type in the Who Am I program, and it returns the user, the Windows 7-PC user student. I'll type in CLS to clear the screen. Another important command is the dir command to examine the directory. Right now, I'm in the C drive in the Windows folder in the System32 folder. If I type dir, you'll see that there's way too many items in the System32 folder. That's too many to examine at one time. So if I want to examine that folder from the command line, a better way to do it would be to type dir, a space, and a pipe to the more command. And now I can see the directory listing one page at a time. Now I just press the space bar and I can see the next page of content. Every time I press the space bar, I get the next page. I'll do a Control-C to exit out of that command and type CLS to clear the screen. If I want to change directories, let's say I want to get from the Windows folder, System32 folder, all the way to the root of the file system to the C drive. I can type change directory space and ... and that will take me up one folder. Let's press enter and see what happens. You can see that I'm now in the Windows folder. If I do a change directory space and just a single dot, it references the same directory, so the directory won't change. I'll press enter and you can see I'm still in the Windows directory. Now, I'm still not in the root of the C drive. Another way to get there would be to just type cd space C:\/ and press enter, and it takes me to the root of the C drive. Now, if I type dir, I can see all the files and folders in the root directory of the C drive. Now, this listing just shows me the visible files and folders, but what about the hidden files? To see those, I'll type dir space, and then I'll use a switch. I'll type /A, so dir all, and now I can see the hidden files and folders. Let's go into the users directory. I'll type cd space users, and now I'm in the users folder. I'll type dir, and you can see there are two folders in the users folder. There's the public folder and the student folder. So I'll go into the student user folder, cd student, and then issue the dir command again, and now I'll choose another directory. This time I want to go into the desktop. The desktop is what we see behind us on the graphical user interface. I'll change directories into the desktop. Notice that I'm using a lowercase d for desktop and I'm not using the uppercase D. Windows is not case sensitive, so I can use uppercase or lowercase and Windows sees it as the same directory. So now I'm on the desktop. If I want to make a folder, I can type MD for make directory, and I'll type my folder, and we can see right there behind me my folder appear on the desktop. I'll go into that folder and issue a dir command, and you can see that there's no files in this folder because it's a new folder. I do have an entry for up one folder and for the same directory here, the double dot and the single dot. Let's create a file in this folder. To create the file, I'm going to create a text file by using the echo command and echoing some text. I'll say this is a test, and then I'll use a redirector and redirect it into a file called newfile.txt. So this should echo this string of text into a file called newfile.txt, and it should stay in the same directory. I'll hit enter, and sure enough, if I type dir, now there's a file called newfile.txt. If I want to change the name of this file, I can use the move command. The move command serves two purposes. I can move the file to a different directory. For instance, I can move newfile.txt, put a space, and then I'll choose a double dot, which will move it up one folder and should move it to the desktop. Let's see if it works. I'll press enter, and there it is. It was moved up one folder. I'll drag it and put it back. There we go. I can also use the move command to change the name of the file. So this time, once again, let's verify that it's in there. There it is. I'll use the move command, and this time I'll say newfile.txt, and instead of putting a double dot or putting in a path listing, I'll just change the name of the file to file.txt. And now it says that the file's been moved, but essentially the only thing that moved was the name. I'll put in a dir command, and you can see the name is now file.txt. I can also copy the file. I'll copy the file, file.txt, and I'll copy it to another file named backupfile.txt. And now the file's been copied. If I put in a dir command, we can see that we have two files. If I want to delete this file, I just type delete, D-E-L, backup file.txt, and the file's deleted.
All right, let's continue 11.4. 11.4.2. Manipulating folders, some of this stuff we know, we've seen before in the video or I've demonstrated, and we're going to add some new stuff on top of it. So if we want to make a directory, we do mkdir, mkdir. We can do md in PowerShell. Excellent. Scrolling down, we can, how do we delete a file? DL. What about delete a directory? That would be RD, or remove directory. Now, if you're removing a directory, we know that there's files and other subdirectories within it. So unless that's empty and you just do RD, it's going to give you an error. So if you add the /s syntax, it will delete that directory and all of its contents as well. /q, quiet, so it's not going to ask for a confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this? Next we have move. Well, we've already done that. We demonstrated that, right? Move. What am I moving? Where am I moving it to? Move. What am I moving? Where do I move it to? Easy day? Awesome. And we'll talk about what happens to permissions later on when we are moving and copying files. If you want to rename, that command is ren. ren, rename. So rename the old thing, and then what you're naming it to. Hooyah? Awesome. All right, some more commands. First one here. Right arrow, caret. This is a redirect, right? So here we've got directory. We're going to put that into directory.txt. So it'll be that dir command, and then the output of that, we put that into a text file. Type displays the contents of a file. We know we can view it with VI. So here we can see everything within directory.txt. If we scroll down, we got more. We already saw that command in the video. So we can see one screen at a time, so we can go a little bit slower. DEL, what does that do?
Deletes a file.
Deletes a file. Very good. We've already seen that. Copy, what's that do? Makes a copy. Copy, what am I copying? Where am I copying it to? Now that's different from move, because move, does it stay in the location? No, right? You're actually physically moving it, and it's no longer there. Copy, you probably use more often, because whoever made that file, it needs to stay there, and you just want to copy in your own drive, etc. It leaves a copy and places one here. Move versus copy. It stays in place. Good to go? All right, and X copy. This is extended copy. So everything within a directory, it will copy over as well. You've got robocopy instead of Xcopy, which is more powerful as it'll try multiple times. We can see that here. Robocopy, which is robust copy, that does the entire tree or the entire hierarchy of that directory, the files and the folders. Move we've talked about as well, and we've done that one. Questions on these commands? We need time to write. Why and two? It will take a little bit longer, but it's going to be more. You're going to have less errors. That's like the measure twice, cut once. All right, let's see what we know. What is the command to move to a different folder? CD. What's recommended by Microsoft for copying large groups of files and directory trees? Robocopy. Rename a file or folder? Ren. Delete a file? DEL. Redirect a command output from the screen to a file? Arrow. Display the content of a text type file? Type. And delete a directory? RD. Easy day? Questions? No. Moving on. All right, still talking about command lines. Here we're talking about disks, right? Like our hard drives. So you have check disk. You do check disk, and then whatever drive you're trying to do, and that'll check for the system files. Make sure they're good to go, not corrupt. You can also check the physical disk for errors. So you got two different syntax options, /f, that will fix disk errors, recover bad sectors, and recover readable information. So that'll take some more time because it takes time to actually fix those issues. TAC-R is the same, except if it's got physical errors on the disk, it'll try to fix those as well, in addition to. We have created partitions. When we put a file system on it, give it a drive letter, etc., what's that called? Formatting, right? We can also do that in command line. So the next thing is format. Whatever volume we're doing, you can create a new file system and also check for physical errors. Because remember when we were formatting, there were two ways to do that. There was quick format, which does not do what? Quick format does not check for errors, right? The full format does, though, right?
That takes longer.
Takes longer. Who ya? All right, and the last thing for this section is disk part, for disk partition. It'll open up a separate area within the command prompt to do the commands and open up a bunch of capabilities for you that you would do in disk management. Remember, that's where we created our partitions, etc. So here you can shrink volumes. You can make an extended partition. You could create a partition, etc. You could mount. So disk part, very useful. Think of that as being able to do everything you can do in that disk management utility that you've already done. Who ya? We need time to write? No? All right, let's move on some more. We'll do some labs here in a little bit. Let's see what we know. Yeah.
Like when you make a partition in the command line, will they bring up like the wizard and stuff too?
No, no. Wizard's GUI. So you got to know what you're doing. Where, what file system do you want to use? What drive letter do you want now? You'll have to do it all in the command. NTFS. All right, I'll read the function. You tell me the command. Enlarge a partition by taking over unallocated space. Disk part, extend. Decrease the size of a partition. Disk part, shrink. Checks a disk for errors. Check disk, CHKDSK, check disk. And prepare a disk with the appropriate file system. Format. Easy day. Questions, comments? Nope. Moving on. All right, task and system command lines. So the first one is task list. So here, this is all of the processes that are running on your device, or you can do it for a remote device as well. You can see the PID, or the process ID, the session number, and how much RAM it's used in the far right column as well. Now let's say you identify one of these and you want to terminate or stop it. You could do that with the task kill command. So you can kill something just like you could in GUI, but you can do it various ways. You can do it by name, or you can do it by the PID, the process ID. So you can use that /PID to kill by a specific number, or that process ID. /IM, you can do it by image name. /F, forcefully, instead of gracefully terminates it, or TAC9, it will, no matter what, that process needs to end. Close it now. /T, terminate that process and any child processes that were started by it. So we kill this higher level process, and if there's child processes that rely on that, it will kill those as well. Easy day? That would have been a good thing for the Joker. Good? Do we need more time or questions? All right, DISM, D-I-S-M, deployment, image, servicing, and management. So if you're working with your images before they are being deployed or mounted, before you're sending them out on the network to different computers, you'd use DISM. Deployment, deploying images, sending them out to computers. You'd use that. You can mount, you can unmount images, etc. Very useful when you're trying to remotely manage these devices and put images on them. We also have System File Checker, or SFC. Now this is for Windows system files. It can verify that those system files are in the right place, that they're there, they exist, that they're not corrupted, and if they are, it can repair those system files. So SFC, System File Checker. You've got the Scan Now option that scans and repairs, and you got Verify Only, which checks it does not repair. So faster, but it's not going to correct anything if it identifies issues. Hooyah? And the last one in this section is shutdown, if you want to power off. Now, there's different ways that you can power off. You could have it do it immediately after a certain period of time, and that's where all these syntax come from. We know about the slash question mark. That gives us help. /I will display the GUI. /L will log off. /S shuts it down. /SG shuts it down on the next boot, and it restarts any applications. /A aborts a system shutdown. So you want to cancel your computer shutting down, shut down /A. /P turns it off with no timeout or warning. Do it immediately. /H hibernate, etc., etc. Questions on this? Okay, and there's even more options that just are not being displayed on the screen right now. Easy day? Let's see what we know. What command can mount and configure a disk image that will be deployed to other computers? DISM. Shut down a process that is running on a computer. Task kill.
No, that's task list. Task kill.
All right, repair or replace protected system files that may have been corrupted. SFC, System File Checker. Find out which processes are running on a computer. That one is task list. And manipulate the power state of a computer. Shut down. Hooyah? Questions? We're good? Cerna?
Are we gonna work with these later in our VMs or no?
Yep, we're just going through lessons, and then we're going to be going in our VMs here after we make it through this section. Good? One more question. Abdul? Okay, yeah, we're going to be working with our VMs after this. Your computer won't turn on? We'll have to do some troubleshooting, okay? Work on that in the next break. All right, now, here in our enterprise environment, the ITs, they don't just go to one computer, set the security policy, make the changes, go to another computer. They've got a security policy that's enforcing the servers. If they make changes, that needs to send out an update to that policy, that group of policies. So a very common command that you're going to do is to make sure that, any changes are actually enforced or updated. I can't, the DNS server changed, or they've added me to the account. You're going to want to do in command line interface a GP update. That'll update that group policy. And you can force a group policy with the /force, even if it hasn't changed or identified a change, because that could be the issue. It's like, there's no change, so we're not going to update it. Well, force it. You've got GP update /boot. After it updates, it's going to restart or reboot the computer. And you can do a specific computer as well as that first one there. Hooyah? That's group policy. You have GP, which is what group policy is short for, GP result. That'll display the group policy. You've also got other options. /R. That'll be the group policy settings for that specific user. /S. You can do it by name or IP address. And /R for the summary data. And it's still very lengthy. It's not a brief summary. And we can see the output of some of these commands here. The GP update. Grace?
I'm kind of behind. But for this SFC one, it says scan now. It's just scanning the scans you've done and the repairs, not repairing. Because that's F and R, right?
So verify only,
Like if
just
it's
checks.
looking at the
Scan now, checks, and fixes.
And
Yep.
so another way to fix them.
Good? Anyone else? NetUse can display our network resources. Here we can see it here. We've got a plethora of options here. We can change possible network settings here or display it. It's going to be the most common. Below that, we have NetUser. Continuing on, here's the options you can do by username. You can add a new user. You can delete a user, all within those commands. So many commands, that's right. System utilities. So you can open up this run box here. You can search and do run, and that'll run a program. You can also just do search. But some various things that you can put into this run box include Explorer. That'll open up File Explorer. You have MMC. What does MMC stand for? Microsoft Management Console. Remember that we can put in all those tools. And when we do that, what do we call those? Starts with an S. With MMC, when we put various tools in, starts with an S. S-N-A-P. Snap-ons. Good? That's MMC. We talked about that the other day. MS Info 32. This is the system information, a summary of all of your components, your hardware, your software, etc. That's MS Info 32. MSTSC, that is for the remote desktop. So if you open up Run and you type in MSTSC, that'll open up the remote desktop. And Notepad opens up Notepad. Easy day? All right.
That's an old process.
Let's see what we know. What can we use? What's the command to check to see what group policy is in effect for a user? What is it? It's GP result, group policy result. Yep, GP is short for group policy. See the shared network resources available to a user. NetUse. Ensure that the latest group policy is present on a computer. GP update. View or edit user accounts. NetUser. Huya? Questions?